Hello and welcome to Spencer's Library. I'm Claudia and I've got some books to show you. So, I went to the local library and I also went to the charity shops in my town and I got some stuff. Which I of course keep in this awesome, very spinstery bag that my mother-in-law got me for Christmas. So first I went into the local library. Now, my local library is not the best stocked in the world, so even though I always go there intending to get very specific books, or at least very specific authors, I'm not always successful. So this time I went in intending to get a novel by Octavia Butler, and I did actually find one. This one is called Kindred, and according to Goodreads, it's the first sci-fi novel written by a black woman. It's from 1979 and it's a story of time travel. I'm really excited about this one. I've heard so many good things about it and I just can't wait to get into this. Next up from the library, I got The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith. Most of you will have heard or have heard of or have seen the film Talented Mr. Ripley from back in the 90s, and I watched that film for the first time a few weeks ago. I was quite impressed by the film, even though I don't normally like gory films. In fact, if I'd known what the film was about, I probably would have said no thank you and not gone to see that film with my friends. But I did end up quite enjoying it, and the story really intrigued me, so I picked up the novel. It's from 1955, so I'm really interested to see how close the parallels are between the book and the film. Next up is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. This is Charlotte Bronte's last novel, and it's from 1853. Apart from Jane Eyre, I've not read anything else by Charlotte Bronte, but I do quite like Jane Eyre, and this novel is set in a boarding school. I love boarding school novels. It's one of my favourite genre of books. From Enid Blyton to J.K. Rowling, I just love them. This one is told from the perspective of the teacher, so I'm very intrigued by that. Those were my library picks. Obviously I'm going to have to read all of these within the next 3 weeks, so I'm sure that you'll get an update on those books quite soon. Next up, I'll show you the books that I picked up from the local charity shops. This one I bought purely because I'd heard about it on BookTube. So it's The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Crazy what that does to my skin. I'm going to hold it over here because it makes me look more alive. So this one is a thriller from a few years ago, and I know virtually nothing about it, apart from that it's about a girl who's sort of restrained or who lives in a prison of some sort. Anyway, I remember this being talked about a lot a few years ago, so I thought why not pick it up. I paid £1.99 for this one. Then I got Howard's End by Ian Forster. I've really enjoyed the other two novels that I've read by Ian Forster, which are Morris and A Room with a View. Both of them I really, really like. So I've been on the lookout for another one of his books for a while, and I'm glad I found this one. This is from 1910, and again, I don't really know what it's about, but I just trust the name on the cover. Ian Forster's books tend to be so warmly written, so full of character. They're kind of cozy in a way, but on the other hand they also provide some serious social commentary and wit. They most remind me of a sort of Jane Austen type book a century after Jane Austen. I see those on a continuum in a way. And then the last book I picked up in the charity shop is a German classic. It's Der Zauberberg by Thomas Mann from 1924. And it's huge. So I picked this up purely because I have not read any Thomas Mann, and he is such an influential figure in German literature history that I thought I should probably give his most famous work a go. This is massive, so it looks quite intimidating. Doesn't help that I don't know anything about the story, but I'm sure I'll get to it at some point this year. I'm definitely planning to. I'm so ahead on my Goodreads challenge that at some point I can just kind of take some time off and just devote myself to this massive chunk of a book. And this one cost me £1.49. If you are looking for books in languages other than English and you buy in charity shops, the selection tends to be quite limited, and it tends to be quite limited to the classics, the sort of things that get studied in schools and at universities and foreign language classes here. But I'm kind of okay with that. I think I'd like to pick up some more contemporary German literature as well, but I just don't know how without spending too much money on it. So if you have any advice for me there, please let me know. Alright, that was my haul for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.